We're gonna let everybody get on. How's everybody doing? We are running just a tad bit behind schedule because of a busy week. Let's see. And we got our man Nick Jones filling in. Nick, we're gonna have you you can get us a little quick intro or just.
Oh, so this is on me.
If you can.
Nick Jones in the building.
When you got Nick Jones, when you got that name, you just flow.
Well,
you just flow with it.
What's going on, y'all? I am Nick Jones. I'm filling in for Twan the Voice. You are here on another edition of Shopkulture. We're here with Doc, Guru, OG of the platform, and we got Barry, the host, creator, also OG of the platform. What's going on, fellas?
Man, we're living, man. We're living. Busy weekend, busy week so far. It's been crazy. Doc, how you living, man?
Not bad, taking life easy.
Oh my goodness.
Staying safe. Got vaccinated. Got the one shot Johnson & Johnson.
How you lucky?
Sunday.
Oh,
yeah.
Where you go to get that?
I got it at Kaiser down here right now.
Okay, so I just got my information, and so I'm gonna be getting the one shot too.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it.
No side effects. So
far.
Yeah.
So far.
I got it Sunday, so
But once again, we got to do the intro. You guys know who this man is. This is the relationship guru, Dr./Mr. or Mr./Dr. James R. Hill.
How's everyone doing in the town tonight? Glad you guys tuning in.
Absolutely. We got my man filling in for the voice, Mr. Twan, who's on vacation in sunny Las Vegas. Man. So I'm going to be heading there myself soon. And, of course, I'm Barry Crosby. And you know what this is. This is Shopkulture. How's everybody living? Let us know. Say hello on the comments. I think you might have to. Yep, there you go.
I got you.
Yes,
I got
sir.
you.
So we're here. How's everybody? Man, so we're going to do kind of a different segment today. We got Nick Jones filling in. Nick Jones going to give us a series of questions because we got a lot of good stuff.
Hey.
A lot of good stuff. So let's start with one of the ones you sent me about a woman should disclose what exactly?
Let's hear it, Nick.
So this is the question. Okay, so here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Should formerly promiscuous women who used to engage in a lot of loose sexual behavior confess their past to a man who is considering marrying them? Do men have a right to know?
Let's hear you guys' thoughts on that. So, I mean, if she lived,
just thoughting it up,
if she was living a wild, loose life, and had a lot of sexual partners, or maybe engaged in prostitution or stripping and side hustling or whatever she does.
You're gonna let Phil tonight.
Hey,
harlots, all of
it. But then people turn their lives around. You turn your life around, you evolve and you grow, and then you decide you want to settle down. You get into a traditional,
you hitting that wall,
serious relationship, or you hit that wall, like Nick said, and you realize it's time to turn things around. A man's interested in you; he wants to marry you. Do you disclose your promiscuous or overly promiscuous past with him?
Man, let me tell you.
That includes body count, how you did it, where you did it, why you did it.
Why would you want to? Again, this goes from last week where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What do I need to know? As long as your STDs check out, everything checks out, we're good to go. What you got to say, Nick?
I was going to say, because they can flip it on us too.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you do in that situation?
So
lie.
You say lie.
Deny.
Yeah. You ain't lying. You do deny. You do.
I think transparency is the best. If you're going to engage in a lifelong relationship, partnership, marriage with this person, be transparent with them. Your past shouldn't make a difference on who you are or how they feel about you. So yes, be transparent with them. Let them know about it so you don't find out or hear something about her past from someone else.
But Doc,
and get blindsided.
Doc, you're gonna hear that regardless. There's gonna be haters. There's gonna be people. Even if she did have a past, I'm with you now. At this present moment, I'm with you now. That's all that matters. What you did a year, 2 years down the line before me, that's regardless. People have sex.
Right.
People have done sex.
Right.
You had sex.
But I think,
had sex.
But it's good for you to know about that.
Oh, shit.
For you to know about that.
Did you?
This past weekend, yes.
Uh-oh.
Nick.
Jumping up and down and uterus not playing.
Headboard banging, all that. Huh? Okay.
Was it relationship sex or it was a relationship sex or just okay? But anyways.
But I think it's best that you hear it from that person, be it the man or be it the woman. I mean, if you could be at a social setting, a barbecue in the summer or something, and one of your boys would come up and say, "Man, we used to run locomotives through her." And,
God,
know? I mean, would you rather be aware of that information and saying, "Hey, man, I know all about whatever she did, so get off my girl," or are you standing there with your jaw dropping, because it's a surprise to you?
Okay. I don't know, man. I mean, to me is, again, it's prior to, and I'm pretty sure nobody wants to hear stuff about me, right? And so it doesn't matter. Again, it's not going to change if I'm into this woman, I love this woman, or we're starting a relationship or whatnot, then that doesn't matter to me.
So you're at a networking event, and I'd say two of the partners come up to you. Hey, man, you with her, that one right there. We used to run, all types of trains.
What guys? Nick?
I'm just saying, what if you was putting that situation?
But
would you rather?
I want a barbershop.
Would you rather have that information come from her or from one of your boys?
Okay,
several of your boys.
Yeah,
I've had that.
Okay.
Well, how'd you deal with that?
Were you blindsided? Did your jaw drop, or were you like, "Why are you hating on my girl?"
I mean, if this woman is coming to you with some experience and coming to you with some with some skill set, she's practiced a skill set.
Right. It is good to have an
and I want
woman.
this woman to have a skill set.
Okay.
So the skill set is learned. It's not just that you woke up and all of a sudden you haven't had this experience. And no, I don't want non-experience. I like experience.
She just happens to have experience with the spotlight on her.
Right. A little extra. But my point is, would you rather hear that from a couple of 3 or 4 of your boys? Or would you rather have that information beforehand from
How would she tell you if she was just having a gang of sex? I mean, how's that?
She's not going to tell you.
Yeah, and how would that?
They're not going to.
Would that even sound sexy?
It doesn't have to sound sexy, but it's true. And her being transparent with you, and when she see things starting to get serious, and you guys are talking marriage, and you're both marriage-minded, she wants to be transparent about her past, just to let you know, so you hear it from her and not from anyone else. We got what are the comments?
Yeah, Nick, can you read some of the comments?
Ruda, I'm not even gonna try to butcher her name.
We call her Steph.
It's Africa. Okay. Steph says, "Will he tell me about his promiscuous life in his past? Unfortunately, some women only had that option to go to school or take care of her family, so no judgment is required."
And I'm pretty sure she's probably talking about more of her culture, right?
Right.
Zimbabwe, I believe. So.
Rakita says maybe if he was prostituting, but other than that, no.
And that may have been the case. She may have engaged in prostitution.
Or a stripper.
Yeah, or a stripper slash.
What gets me about it, guys like going to strip clubs. Women do too, like going.
Right.
And then they want to talk mess about the stripper. But yet you're going to, it's just, I don't know, man.
Your past is your past. It's crazy to think he or she are virgins. If they are still out there, then that's a different issue.
Right, that is a different issue. But if they moved on and you're both marriage-minded and that's clearly in their past, should they be totally transparent about it? Do you want to know about their past? And is it going to change the way you feel about them if you were marriage-minded?
Were you once upon a time a hoe?
Yeah. I was a hoe. What's the number? I mean, how do you determine if they had what's the count?
Well, I mean, you don't put a count on it, but overly permissive. Maybe she can't count, or maybe you can't count.
That's shit.
So
anything over 20,
or having
for a woman, for a woman in her 40s, anything over 20.
Oh no. I'd say.
What's the number?
Women, I'm just ballparking.
Okay.
I'd say about 35.
For women in their 40s.
40. No, we're just
In general?
Yeah.
What's the number, Doc?
I'm not putting any numbers out there.
I will.
I don't
35
think
to
people
40.
should count. I don't think it's a count thing. It's like that's like a notch in your headboard if you're counting.
Promiscuous. What
If
does that
if
mean?
you're over
though?
40 and you have an accurate count, then
You're not gonna have an accurate count, but you do have a ballpark.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
You do have a ballpark. You know.
That's why most of them won't say. That's why your past is your past. About 40 or 50. She got about 40 or 50 bodies on her.
Now I'll be honest with you. I'm old school. That body thing, I can't get used to that.
Well, the Sway says women hardly ever tell the number.
And they shouldn't.
It's not important, and
the women shouldn't.
It's even less important if the guy is really inquiring about it. But if it's something she wants to be transparent about and wants you to know about it, and is forthcoming with it, you should respect her honesty.
But what grown man should even ask a woman?
You shouldn't.
Hey, how many guys?
But you can
how many guys you had sex with?
You can teeter around on that subject matter if you guys are talking around the vicinity of said conversation, where you guys both just end up, because that happens, where you build that rapport, that trust, where it's just like, okay, well, before I met you, I'm 35, 40, give or take. I don't know.
Well, you talking about a woman?
I'm just saying, like that could like be me throwing that out there, and then she, ends up reciprocating. Who knows? You might.
Okay. What did Tammy say? Turnabout is fair play. So
she said. She says turnabout. Let me go ahead and put it up here. Turnabout is fair play. Do you need to know the actual numbers? What is? See, this is what I'm talking about. About 50 bodies right there.
Oh
wow! Yeah. We're gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna play along with you.
I like it. He says she doesn't want to know. She doesn't know the count, but is honest about her past. I'll never give you a body count.
You shouldn't. But okay, when you're honest about your past, what exactly does that mean? Like, I experienced certain things, or I did certain things. I mean, that's just. I don't know.
I was at a party one night, and I don't know how many guys had sex.
Okay, how about this? Do you want to know more about one night stands?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean,
one night stands don't matter?
No, that's all part of it. But I'm saying it shouldn't be you inquiring about them. But if they're forthcoming with this information, you should be accepting of it, that they're being forthcoming and honest. And on the other end of it, can you accept someone being forthcoming with a promiscuous or over promiscuous past?
I guess I don't understand, Doc. One quickly is, as a man, we shouldn't ask. You think the woman is going to come out the blue and be like, I've had a lot of bodies. I just don't see the relevance. Or
let me get to this comment on top of what you just said, because it plays into that. Okay. Suela says, even in transparency, we don't tell actual numbers because of the double standard. Women don't tell their actual numbers because they do have an actual number. They just don't come out.
I believe that.
Because of what she,
Yeah, and I agree with Nick on this one. I think women have an actual number. They know the actual number.
I don't know. Really? But I think it's disrespectful for a man to press you for that number.
Absolutely. That's a totally different issue. Yeah, if there's something wrong with that dude.
Right.
Is that more of an insecurity guy?
Yeah, he's definitely insecure.
He's got some insecurity.
You don't think that he can stand his ground with the 50 some bodies that were before you?
Right.
Probably not. You got to compete with 50 dudes.
Self-esteem issues, insecurity.
But is it different than when a guy or somebody asks, "How am I?" How am I? When is that any different than that?
Are you saying is it different when someone asks like me?
Rating yourself sexually?
Well,
how's that any different than a body count?
Well, if you're asked, no, how am I in the terms of am I satisfying you? Is this satisfactory? Are we, am I satisfying you? Am I doing what needs to be done? Not in comparison to what's been done.
I'm talking about in comparisons, because there's people that do compare.
Yeah. Well, if you're asking in comparison,
like compare me to your ex, or compare me, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, why would you?
I'm serious. I've had guys come in here and talk about. I've asked her. I'm like, really? Why would you even want to know? She's gonna lie to you.
What's V's comment?
I agree with Dr. I agree with Dr. Hill. If they are forthcoming in a relationship conversation, but certain things you should just keep it to yourself. Twan says,
"What's up,
all the way from Vegas? You need to know bases, and you don't need to know." As he racks up. No,
So Twan,
That's Twan logic.
that's Twan logic again.
Okay.
Suela says, main thing is if you're gonna be out there, wrap it up. I mean, yeah, obviously. Some people still don't do that.
Yeah,
Right,
we can
right.
always.
Dare to be live life on the edge. Don't be surprised when you get hit with that surprise.
Well,
So yeah.
So to sum it up,
this episode,
if they're forthcoming,
hell is gonna be full
respect
tonight.
their honesty. Just respect their honesty, but don't push the issue and ask, about their sexual path unless you're willing to reveal yours and are both going to be able to be accepting of whatever that past is.
and men don't ask a woman.
But if they're terrible in the bedroom, then it's just like, well, did you get out here and do anything? Do you have any type of sexual prowess about you?
Like I say, skill matters. We need a
The only
hashtag
way you
skill
gonna have,
matters.
yeah.
Right?
And you got to have experience, and you had to have some sex. Good for you. Whatever.
Right?
Sexual athleticism needs to be on point.
And why is there always a double standard in that? Men can sleep with as many women as possible, and then women, it's
that goes back to the whole
but I mean,
society and all of that.
For 2021, what do you think about that, dog?
Well, I mean, if you look at other cultures, I mean, it's always been like that. I mean, because women have always been put on the back burner as second-class citizens. They've been possessed, suppressed, and everything else. Because, like in a Muslim country, a man can have 4 wives, and that's their tradition. That's their culture.
But the man has to take care of, be able to financially support.
Right.
So that's a little bit,
Right.
But that
Exactly. But the point is, he can have 4 wives, but she can't have 4 husbands. And why is that? Is that a double standard in that Muslim society?
Well, I think that's what we're doing.
It's not with them. That's I would say that's their tradition and culture.
Religious.
Like that. That's their custom. So of course,
and there are many other countries with similar customs and traditions. So then you look at America, that's vowed on monogamous relationships, and
we got the.
And why is that?
We got the
That's
Bible
my
Belt out
question.
here,
Why
man.
is it? Why are we so stuck on monogamy?
relationship?
Especially in today's times. Why is it such a big issue that you have to be monogamous?
Right. Is that an American thing? Is that an international thing?
That's a white America thing.
If you look internationally,
they're the ones who built the society up to where it's at now.
It's an American thing. So are people built to be monogamous? Or do you struggle to be monogamous?
I mean, the polyamory world is growing, and they're being
doesn't mean that's successful.
They're being more blatant about it. There's groups where they're being more upfront about it. They're educating folks as far as like what polyamory is, because a lot of folks just look at it on a surface level, thinking, oh, you just get with whoever. Because you do just get with whoever you want, but there's
levels to it.
There's levels to it,
it's
and then there's communication too.
Yes.
There's a very explicit communication factor where people you know about who it is that everybody knows about each other. It's you have those conversations. It's not everybody just out here banging the world.
Okay, Lisa Moore says it's because our country was built on Christian values. I mean, there's Christian values in this country, but this country is a melting pot of many cultures and traditions that come from all over the world. Even though it was built on Christian values and monogamy is the norm in America, is that right?
Or should it be right?
Yeah, should it be right?
In today's times, we're talking about right now, is monogamy a thing of the past?
I think it's getting there. Because again, you're getting more people.
I think the younger generation is not falling into it.
Right.
But in America, that's the social norm. And it always will be in America. And people will look at multiple sex partners as cheating and unacceptable. And what did he say?
If he wants 2 wives, women should be able to have 2 husbands, if that's your thing. I agree with her. Whatever floats your boat,
If you can accept that, as a man, could any of us on this panel accept if we're married to a woman, and if she
brings in another dude?
Bringing another dude.
No.
Okay.
I couldn't.
You're going to be brother husband?
Speaking for myself, but I mean, it takes a lot. I mean, 2 women, 2 wives, I mean, it's done all over the world.
Sounds
Why
like-
is that? Where
sounds
did
like a
that
headache.
start?
And exactly, and I think it's, I think a lot of times people just look at the sexual side of things.
That's
but
exactly
it's
what
the
they
other
do, yeah.
aspect of the emotional attachment.
There's a lot more to it.
Even
Yeah.
cheating is emotional. The emotional aspect that goes into it, the constant, backtracking and thinking of different
That's too much work.
lives.
to
That's
sit
a
up
lot of.
and-
Isn't that a lot of work? That takes
Right,
away
definitely
what you
is.
got?
Absolutely.
So I think it's probably when you talk about cheating, it's more than just the sexual act. So
Yes, and some people cheat, and it's not even sexual. Now, do you think people have to engage in sex to cheat in their
no,
relationship?
you got emotional, and let's actually talk about that.
That's the one that's the killer right
That's
there.
the
The
killer
emotional one.
The
Because once
emotional
you
one.
get emotionally in with somebody, that's a wrap. Sex, you can just, do your thing and be out.
Do you
Right.
think when women cheat is more of the emotional than
Yep.
the physical?
Women cheat is
Yep.
more of the emotional, yes. But anyone that cheats or looks outside their marriage or relationship, they're looking for something that they're not getting to fulfill a need that they're not getting within their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not be sex.
A lot of times it's, I would say, especially for women, it's not sex. It's usually that the man is coming up short in certain areas of fulfillment.
Okay. So do you think it
Such
evolves to
as?
sex from that?
It does,
If
because
she's-
I think once your heart is involved, those barriers become less, and sex is going to happen.
Right.
When a man can tap into the woman's mind and get the woman's mind and then to the heart, it's
It's a superpower. But
The
I'm not
mental
telling on myself.
orgasm. The mental orgasm. Didn't we speak on that before?
we did talk about that, but
Cheating comes in many forms and not just sexual.
you guys are What do you guys think
And
about that?
Lisa says monogamy is almost impossible today. I agree with her. I feel like people should decide what is right for themselves. I don't believe in the one. I believe there are many people you connect with in many ways, emotionally, sexually, or whatever. Hey, Lisa.
And I kind of agree with that.
Lisa.
But if everyone
I
involved,
see you.
everyone
It
involved,
has to be a limit. It has to be a limit.
I don't know about it. I wouldn't put a limit to it,
You
a
have to have a
respectful
limit.
limit. But the more important part is everyone involved needs to know that this is the way you feel and this is the way that you're going to be moving, and has to be in agreement with that.
Yeah. Again, going back to polyamory, that's how they do it.
Well, and that's basically what it is then. So that's what we're saying. So then monogamy is a thing of the past. And if you're basically cheating, not just sexually, but emotionally.
Suela says, I believe it's spiritual. As a single person, can someone chime in on how do you feel about having sex with multiple partners?
Ooh.
I'm single, and I don't see no issue in doing so, as long as you are communicating with
Everybody
that's involved, and
Mhm.
you guys are being safe. Y'all ain't bringing, I almost said bastard. Y'all ain't bringing kids into the unwanted
Damn, you
kids
said
into the world.
bastard.
Y'all ain't bringing unwanted kids into the world and whatnot.
Right.
Being adults and being responsible about your ish.
Right.
Why not?
As long as you're being safe
Shop
with
culture,
it.
we never get personal, so I'm not
Right,
discussing it.
right.
I hear
We're not bringing our personal lives, but as long as everyone knows in the relationship that if you could go into it saying like, yes, we're going into, we're doing this.
You're not going to tell every single thing.
No, you just
So
let
when
them
everybody
know
says
that you're not the only person in my life.
Yeah, I'm dealing with such and such and such and such.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
And most people are not going to be cool with it, but I think
They have the option.
there are options, and you have to word things.
That's the beautiful thing about communication. When
you would be surprised at how many people would be cool with it.
Yeah.
Granted, for somebody who's had experience, heard about this, they are cool to a certain extent.
Right.
It changes
Now,
when that person has more feelings for you.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're upfront about it, because they can't control how they feel about you. So
that's
okay,
and that is a personal problem.
That's
a personal problem, because I didn't told you. Look, you're not the only person I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with X, Y, and Z. So if this is something that you can deal with, cool. If not, you have an out. Here's the exit is that way.
Yeah.
It's not. That is no issue of mine that you're catching feelings. That's your issue alone. You've been told, you've been warned.
So you don't have feelings. You can't just be black and white.
But
it doesn't.
It's
how
not just
do you,
black and white.
how?
No, you're going to catch feelings.
You are going to catch feelings. I agree.
I mean, yeah, somebody's going to catch feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
But
and just to say, well, it's your fault for catching feelings for me. Wait,
right.
yeah,
I mean, it kind of is. If I've been already told, what more do you? What more can I do?
What I'm saying, Nick. What I'm saying, Nick, is you've done some things to get that person to that point. You haven't just been like. From the get started,
like hanging out and building rapport.
You're building relationships,
right? And I would like to think. I mean, I'll just speak for myself. I can't speak for anybody else. But for me, that person.
What you doing right now?
That person is gonna know like how I'm moving as we hang out.
Okay,
it's not something I'm just gonna spring on her. She's gonna know like during out the timeline that we're building together that. So this is how like I get down.
But then therein lies the problem because you want to put that up front. That yes, we're going to be spending time, we're going to be getting intimate, and I want you to know that you're not the only person in my life. Are you cool with that?
I mean,
and if you're not, I'm not mad at you. I understand.
Right. But very few men have that exact type of conversation.
Right. And I agree.
Be honest
and
with
Doc,
you.
I agree with you.
And those are the guys who end up with their tires cut, their windshields busted out.
Let me read these comments.
Oh, we get into this is what we do at Shopkulture. You came to Barry's Barbershop. This is what's going on.
So going back to what we were. Going back to what you were talking about with catching feelings, Suela says, doesn't someone always get hurt when having multiple partners? And again, it's possible.
It does. Now,
it's possible.
Now, I agree to a certain extent what Nick is saying, but you have to have some level of honesty, and you have to, you have to do these check-ins. This is where I'm at. This is,
right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna. You can't be just black and white. Well, it's your fault for liking me.
Right. Well, you have to be upfront.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, the obvious, and I agree with it.
No, Nick,
no glove, no love. Go ahead.
As somebody who loves the Nubian queen, wouldn't you want to show some type of compassion
and
love?
Okay, so I would approach it the same way Doc just laid it out. You were starting out. I'm letting her know right off the bat. So if she chooses to keep along for the ride, then that's on her if she's catching feelings.
Well, you don't want to become offensive because she is going to catch feelings, like. But you just have to let her know, hey, this. I've been totally honest with you.
Exactly.
So this is what the conversation was. I have been in this situation.
Okay.
In my young days, I had multiple women. They all knew that they weren't the only woman in my life, and they accepted that.
Mm-hmm.
So some that didn't moved on. The ones that did, that they dealt with it.
Did your feelings start to change, or it was just black and white that I wasn't going to try to explore anything else with these women?
I'm not looking for a relationship.
Well, I wasn't really looking for a relationship. I was in my 20s. I mean,
okay. See, that's
so, and I didn't have that closeness with any one of them, but I got along with each one of them in certain ways, and that eliminated a lot of things. Getting clowned in public when they see you with another woman, or destroying your property and things like that. You just enjoyed each other's company.
Did, but did somebody get hurt in it?
No.
Nobody got hurt.
No one
so
got hurt.
We talked.
It was friendship. It was sexual. It was fun. We had a good time. We were adults, and there was an understanding on what it was.
I bet you talked to them. I bet you one or two had more feelings than saying.
And when that happened, we talked about it.
Yeah, it did happen. though. That's what I'm saying.
It happened. Yeah, and they would say, "I can't deal with this." Blah blah blah, and they move on.
Feelings happen.
Get these off real quick. Paul says everything needs to be transparent if that is your thing. I know people in that lifestyle, and they are very transparent. Okay, and then Rakita says, if you care about each woman, you have a responsibility to make them both feel special, or is it just sex and you out? The latter. It's sex and I'm out. If that's what I'm telling you. If I'm telling you that's what it is, then cool. You adhere to that information, and you have the option at that point if you want to continue to rock with me or not. If not, there's plenty of other men out there to fulfill whatever criteria.
And that could be it. But I think all three of those can fit under the same umbrella, though.
Right. And, it's a thing. I'm not upset at you. I'm not mad at you.
No.
This is who I am.
No.
And, I'm being transparent with you. Are you accepting of it? I'm not going to look at you any differently if you can't accept it. So.
Suela says they have to respect you for being upfront, but it doesn't stop people from getting hurt. Yeah. It does leave it on her to decide what she wants to accept. Exactly.
It does. But
Absolutely.
My point is that people will get hurt. It doesn't. So you got to.
That's.
You know what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is, to me, as being responsible enough, you have to also care about somebody's feelings. To me, that's it.
I hear what you're saying, Barry.
That's all.
You know,
Not whether
I hear. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Just,
you know,
if you have a disclaimer, or if you've been
you can put the disclaimer out there. I agree.
That then you know.
Yeah.
Again, it's on you to choose to what
to stay or walk away.
Yeah,
it ultimately is.
And then, like Sway says, no Miss Thin Line episodes.
Ooh,
when you're transparent, you understand.
That's totally
yeah.
He was,
but he was playing that.
He was playing that one.
He was playing that. He wasn't transparent. That's the problem.
Right. You got to be upfront about it. You know.
It was a thin line.
Yeah. Nothing nice.
It's a thin line. Ooh, H-Town had to cut with that song.
Right.
Okay, I got some.
Okay.
Should I read?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, these. Whew.
All right. So, if as a woman you feel the need to pleasure yourself to the point of orgasm before putting yourself in a social setting where there are single and thirsty men in order to feel confident and not appear desperate or horny, you are giving yourself a false sense of security. Being that you need to substitute a sex toy for the real feel of a man so you can comfortably place yourself in a social setting and tell yourself that you've been sexually satisfied and can be in control when interacting with the opposite sex to feel more in control. Is this true?
Ladies, we want to hear this.
You want me to read that again? Because I was just reading what I was given.
This stems from an actual conversation that I've had with a few women.
Okay.
Who said, before going out to the club, to a party in a social setting, if they're feeling horny, they'll rub one out, get an orgasm, masturbate.
Okay.
To get that orgasm so they don't go out feeling horny. And because they feel like
that's what I said first time I heard it.
They feel like first time I heard that one.
That a man will have an advantage on him if they're horny.
Huh?
This was an actual conversation.
Wait, Doc, can you say that again? Because I want to understand. I want to understand what's happening right now. Or do I need to read this again?
No. Let me read.
Let's paraphrase because that's a long one. Okay.
Women, I've had this discussion with women that say if they're horny, they're getting ready to go out to a social setting, a party, whatever the case may be, where they're going to be interacting with men. If they're horny, they feel that it's better to masturbate, get that orgasm out, so they don't feel that the men have the advantage on them because they're horny when they go out.
Whoa.
And they can better stand their ground, not having the weakness of wanting to have sex and achieve that orgasm.
Huh.
What do you ladies think? Is that true?
I don't think one orgasm is just gonna do it. You want to nut again? You
got to bust. I mean, that's the bust.
Right, but if she's horny and she wants it and she goes out in that vulnerable state, do you think that that's a level of vulnerability for a woman? If she's really horny and a man touches her and she feels some kind of way because she hasn't had an orgasm?
Is any man can touch her?
I'm not saying. Maybe if she's horny.
Hey, yo, ladies, we need y'all to chime in because I can't really answer this question. I'm not a woman.
I want to know where these women are at.
Right?
What's about there?
All they gotta do is breathe on it when they
just like, oh,
waterfall.
Oh my God.
Dang.
So I mean, if they feel that they may be weak because they're horny, they may be weak to some man that they're not really interested in, and just because they want to have sex. But if they rubbed one out and popped one off before they leave, they feel like it's more standing ground.
That ain't nothing a shot of Hennessy or whatever.
That enhances it though.
Now that might enhance exactly. That's gonna enhance it. She's gonna really want it then.
Lisa said, "Shit, if you are satisfying yourself before you go out, it's because you're horny. You're clearly haven't satisfied yourself." If you are satisfying yourself before you go out, it's because you are horny. You clearly haven't satisfied yourself. That's basically what I was saying. When I was first hearing this,
and she has another one.
Y'all are doing it wrong. Might as well not waste your time.
And not go out?
And not go out. I think that's what she's trying to say.
But if you want to go out, you want to be in a social setting and interact with people and have fun, but you don't want to be horny where you feel vulnerable to where, you may do something that you wouldn't normally do if you weren't horny.
Like have a one-night stand?
Yeah, a one-night stand with somebody that's not as desirable maybe as if if you weren't horny. You might pass up on.
So you're speaking from like if this lady's single and
she's
because
going
Lisa,
out.
I think she's speaking on if you're a couple and whatnot.
No, I'm speaking on if
she's
she's
single.
single. We're talking about single ladies.
Are we talking about like back in the 90s?
No, we're talking 2000.
That 90s one-nighters were. What's the best?
He says,
what's the best years for the one night stand?
Was
it 70s, 80s, or 90s?
I wasn't here, so I don't know. V says that goes both ways. If they can't control their urges, then that's a good plan to have.
Interesting.
Wow. Lisa says if you're doing it right, you're not going out. And again, I think she's speaking more so towards couples.
Right. But we're talking about single ladies. You're going out there, and if you're really horny, a touch from you may get the right touch from the wrong person, and just go all in because you're horny. And this is what the conversation was with the ladies. They said if you rub one out, then you can stand your ground.
I mean, I think women should do that more. Do that quite a bit anyway. I think it helps their sexuality. So
really? I feel like if they're that horny, they're not even going to do that. They're just going to go out and get them a dude to do that for them.
Right, but if it's the wrong dude, afterward they're going to say, "Damn, if I wasn't horny,
she got to be drunk or something."
No, just horny.
Because if she's cognizant of and letting a ugly ass dude run up in her,
well, then
what is going on?
And that's the whole point why she rubbed one out before she left the house, so she won't have those regrets and say, if I wasn't horny, I wouldn't have done that.
What is this? Somebody coming for Twan, Matt Johnson. Twan, who's that waitress near your house?
Did that happen, Twan?
Twan.
That's
the pulpit, sir. 100%. It helps. You know how to do it if you know what you want.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with that.
So you can go out and you can relax, and you don't have to worry.
Well, I don't know about the relaxation. I think you start understanding how to please yourself, then you can also express that to a man. When you get in that situation, I'm talking about masturbating, right? Yeah. I think masturbation helps.
I mean, if you busting a mean nut, you're going to sleep. You ain't going outside.
Well, if you're late, yeah, but it's a different levels of it.
Like she said, if you're doing it right, you single or not, you're gonna go to sleep. You're going to sleep.
So it's wrong if you bust one out and then want to go out still.
It's not wrong at all. I'm just saying that's usually the reality of the situation. You have intentions on going out, but hey, man, let me go ahead and just
bust it out.
Get this nut off real quick, and then next thing you know, I'm gonna just go ahead and.
That's how I am after some food. You give me some good food,
it's some food.
It's some food. I'm like,
and then a lot of guys are. I mean, if they're going to a woman's house where they think they're gonna have sex, they don't want to prematurely ejaculate. So
they don't got stamina.
No.
Sexual athleticism is at all time. Hold on.
Going too damn
Sexual
far.
athleticism is all time. If you got, you can do that.
No.
That's an advantage. You do that because it makes you last longer.
No.
Yes.
If you have stamina, you don't have to do that though. You ain't got to worry about lasting longer. If you have stamina, ladies, is this okay?
Stop it, Nick. You know that first one is slippery.
I don't know. I cannot relate.
Come on.
Now I ain't gonna say I was always like this. I didn't have some nights, but
we're not talking about our personal life.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'll put myself out there. I don't need to.
Listen, back in the day, cats were busting out first. Right. And then you go in there, and it gives you an extra, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. I
want to be clear. I'm not saying that there is anything.
No, I know. I'm just saying in general.
Just saying, work on your stamina, man. Get your stroke count up,
Well, you got a lot of guys mad right now.
Where's the fellas at? That first one's slippery. 9 out of 10 guys will tell you that.
I would say 10 if you're honest with it. That helps.
What? 10?
10 out of 10.
Right.
Y'all are wild tonight.
Anyway. Man, we just, we've been having a lot of these type of questions on Shopkulture. Thank you guys for tuning in to, she said,
who is this person?
Who?
They keep talking about singing
and just come in. Listen,
not the karaoke show.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Doc, is this your friend?
No, it is not.
Mary, is this you?
I don't know. And she said, don't live close to my house.
She's trying to get
put
in.
on maps.com.
We don't trying to get in tonight.
Hey, was she the one with the question?
No.
Dog acting brand new.
No.
Oh my goodness. Dude, all right, how about we got any other?
That's all I have.
Okay.
Unless
We had another. It was something good.
We had a meme that I posted earlier this week that we can go into, and there were mixed comments.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That went both ways on it, and the question in the meme was, can great sex change a person's behavior?
Yes.
It can.
Nick
You
says
can definitely dickmatize a chick. Yes.
Oh, okay. Does that make it good? Is that good or is
Makes
that
it good
bad?
for me.
Does the behavior get better
I think for a woman it gets way better.
or does it get worse?
Yeah, it gets way better.
Okay.
It can. I think it's a little bit of both. Because I've had my own girls will tell me that I've done some stupid for this ain't nigga, but he got that thing on.
You know, when you got that,
my own girls will tell me, man,
Right,
like,
but okay,
they'll tell you
that can be the fact. But does the behavior change for the better?
yeah, for that. Well,
Do they
long
listen
term
to
or
them?
short term?
Period.
Yeah.
Does it change? Does that change their behavior? Can you make them behave with great sex?
Swayla
I think
says
so.
if it's bad, it's bad if he's a bad dude. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, because that's yes. I want to hear that.
100%.
If
you have great sex, it's like it
fully changes.
Okay, it fully changes your attitude for the better.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's a long-term answer though. I don't think the long-term because you have other issues and problems.
Depends on the person you're rocking with too.
So you don't think that's sustainable? That behavior will sustain it?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No. Yeah, and what B actually is right on.
Hold on. Maybe a younger chick, but as you get older, things are more important than good D.
And I agree with B. Yes.
So that young man come in and Lisa for the next day at least. Okay, I don't know what she was on about.
Oh no, she said for the next day.
Your
Yeah,
behavior change for the next day. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you because that woman's cleaning. She's down there cooking your breakfast.
And that only lasts for a day.
That's about a day. Then she going back to.
So she got to re-up.
You
got to re-up.
Your D ain't that good if it's only for the day.
Well,
you got to keep,
you
got to keep putting it on her.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what if she's putting it on you?
Oh yeah, you can definitely get.
How does that change a man's behavior? If you a bad dude, if you out there in the streets, if you running pretty woman, if you're doing what you do, plenty of women, you're doing what you do, is your behavior gonna change?
Some dudes do. They start acting simpish and doing things completely out of character.
Yeah, but if you already got that type of lifestyle, that ain't gonna change because you got some good.
But if you don't, these are like out of character. He's doing things that are out of character.
I always say it's not necessarily good, but it's new. The new will help you change it for a period of time.
Right.
Because good is interchangeable. What is good?
Well, I say great.
Well, then what's great is interchangeable. Still great.
Yeah, so if it's great, so if
but
if he gets some great punani put on him and he ain't had it in a while, or he ain't really had it before, he's gonna start acting out of character, doing simpish things like paying her rent or buying her a new car. Pretty much, acting like a sugar daddy or whatever, or becoming a sugar daddy eventually.
Well,
these things happen.
They do happen like that.
Right. And then if it goes bad or if she doesn't want, then what happens? Then it gets possessive.
The next 48
and abusive.
The next 48.
So then if a man is putting great sex and then he's physically abusive, how does a woman handle that? If she's enjoying the sex, but he's physically abusive.
Oh, no, I was speaking on if she's giving him great sex, and then she's like, okay, I'm done with you. I'm on to the next, or I'm doing my thing. I can see that happening.
Right.
If he's putting in work and it's good, I don't understand why he would.
Yeah. Well, because there's some messed up dudes.
Thank you, Chloe, for watching, too, because Chloe said, okay, thank you, Chloe. We appreciate it.
There are some messed up dudes out there that just want to control women, and women need to recognize these things when you see them. And no matter how good the sex is, if there's any level of abuse, you need to get some help, get away from that.
Absolutely. But then there's, like I said, some people validate it and they stay in a relationship.
Right. And they start to blame themselves, and sex is good. So they tolerate it. But it's never good.
I've heard
never acceptable.
Yeah, he got that good. Well, okay.
Has that ever happened to one of you fellas? Ever had a woman really just put it on you where you just like, I'm not myself, but let me pull this wallet out real quick.
We're not talking about our personal life. We're talking
man, you see
y'all
me
know, okay, y'all got the homeboys that done
You see
that?
me waiting for Dr. Dan? I hope he does it. Yeah.
Y'all know anybody who's done that?
I know,
Like any
I treat.
homeboys?
Oh,
But it's not
absolutely.
tricking.
Yeah.
It's treating.
All right. It's not tricking if you got it.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
man.
I guess
Let me. Do you want me to? Because I can put the block button.
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay.
Let's keep it going. But we once again, guys, we appreciate you guys watching. This is Shop Culture. As you can see, the comments is lightening up. We got new people watching, so we appreciate the new viewers. This is Shop Culture. So man, let's get some more comments going. Man, it was you did a meme though about something else though. Hold on. It was good too. I think I sent you a couple pictures of some things. And one was about child support.
ooh, child. Yeah, you did talk about child support.
But
But until you pull that up, I just got a question to ask our viewers. I mean, there's quite a few you viewing. So tell me this: can platonic friends have sex and remain in that platonic? Well, it's not platonic anymore, but can you remain friends after having sex?
Should be.
I mean, if you've been friends with this guy or with this woman for a few years, you guys have sex. Can that friendship continue? And is it the same? If not, how does it change?
I got a story.
Okay, let's hear your story.
So that happened to me with a young lady I was dealing with, some years ago. We was building a rapport, built a friendship, whatever, was cool. And then
Real quickly, this is the
go ahead.
child support one, and I just want to take.
Go ahead.
If you need child support, you don't need custody.
Oh, maybe let me just
She said,
sidebar that story.
Okay,
Let's go into that. I like that.
process that.
okay.
Well, okay, real quick. So basically, she knew what it was. She approached me, and I had to listen. I told her about my situation because I was just coming out of a long-term relationship. So she knew everything. And I was like, look, I ain't got no problem with engaging you. Who am I to turn down some.
Okay, you got.
But we ended up doing the deed, and then she switched up. She tried to.
Really?
She tried to. She tried to. But again, I told her what it was. Put it all out there. I know to you and some individuals it may not matter, but I feel like it does matter.
It
You're being upfront.
Yes,
you're giving them everything they need and giving them that out.
Yeah.
So if you continue to choose to play along with that man or that woman or whoever you're dealing with, that is on that person.
Well, but it's a mutual decision if two friends decide to engage in physical intimacy.
Right.
What does that do to that friendship? Can you continue to be friends?
Oh no, the friendship ended. It ended. Like not immediately, but soon after it ended.
Why? Because someone wants to take it to the next level?
She wanted to take it to the next level, even though she knew that that's not where it was going per our conversation prior to us even engaging each other.
Right.
But there's some.
And she caught feelings anyways and decided to,
Well, what happened? You would have caught feelings, so it can't happen.
Right. And my spin on that, if you have a long-term relationship with someone of the opposite sex, respect that friendship. Don't cross that line because you're going to lose a good friend. And eventually it's going to go bad.
That's true.
Because it's not going to go to a full-blown relationship. It was just a moment of intimacy. It was
even if you both understand it.
Right. Even if you both understand it.
Yeah.
Feelings are exchanged in the act of physical intimacy, and it changes the dynamic of a relationship and takes the next. If you're just friends, respect that friendship and don't cross the line.
Sway said.
Okay, so Sway says, do guys want to be friends after her not wanting to get with this program? I mean, me personally, I would have been cool with it. She approached me. My situation, I was the one approached.
Yeah. Right. That's what I was just going to say. It may have been her that wanted to have sex with him. It's not always the guy.
Yeah.
It's usually the woman, though.
You women are horny, too.
But exactly. And it's usually women that want,
Right. Lisa says it definitely depends on the person, and I agree. It depends on feelings. Again, I agree. And the emotional security of the people. Agree.
Right.
She's on it.
Don't cross that line. Value that friendship.
So, What do you guys think about that one?
If you need child support, you don't need custody?
Yeah.
That's garbage. Child support is to maintain the same lifestyle that those kids were living when you were together, or if you were never together, so that child can have a quality life,
Yep.
can have the things that they need. I mean, without struggle. I mean, if you were married and you separate and one gets child support, well, and that has custody, that could be the man or the woman. That child support is to keep that child living at the quality of life, so they have quality education, food, clothing, that they were if you were together.
I agree.
Yeah. Child support, from my understanding, it should be for
the child.
For the child, but
also for the mother,
but for the dude,
yeah.
But for the the
non-custodial,
the ain't-ish baby daddy, because that's usually what this all comes down to. Women putting men on child support, and a lot of men feeling in the way of how does that mean framed? If you need child support, then
you don't need custody.
You don't need custody.
Yeah. Some situations though, that woman does need custody.
Right.
Well, men need to know better than buying clothes and talking about Jordans and that's what food, heat.
Right.
I mean, taking care of your kid. That's how I see it. But then you do have those situations where women do take advantage of the system, and
you shouldn't have picked them.
But then they also say, well, what I do with this money doesn't concern you.
Now, what do you think? Do you think that
it's going into the household in which it's going into the household in which your kid lives under, the roof your child lives under? So just as long as you are making your mark and paying what you need to pay, don't worry about what I'm doing.
I agree with that.
The kid
don't worry about what you do. As long as your child has what they need, they have they're
shelter,
going to
food,
school,
yes.
They got their food, their clothing, their hair's done, they're going to medical, getting their doctors regularly, they're engaged in activities, sports, whatever it may be, and that parent's providing for them. You got nothing to say with what she does with the money you give them child support. And that goes to both ways, because there are a lot of single men out there who are receiving child support.
Well, it's never seemed like it's the same amount, but it's
right. In some form.
Yeah. But no, I totally agree with that. And just take care of your kid.
Right. Even if you are paying child support, like Suela says, kids need their dad.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're paying child support, that doesn't give you an excuse to skip out on your child's lifestyle and their upbringing. You need to be an active part of your child's life, whether you're with that parent.
What about the women that actively keep their children away from the father?
Yeah, they're wrong.
They're using the child as a pawn, because that happens a lot.
It does, but then you have to use the court system. That's when
get your parenting plan.
Yes.
There you go.
What did he say?
If he or she does not want to pay child support, do not have sex. I agree 1,000%. Child support helps to raise the child, but still need both parents to parent that child.
So it's child support and being active.
Absolutely. Active in their life.
But women, if you have an active man, you should allow the man to see his child too.
Right.
Absolutely. But
why do you think women do that? Use the child as a pawn?
Because they're looking for some way to hurt the man.
And that hurts.
Then they know something you love they're withholding from you, and that's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
They can't hurt you in any other way if you've totally let go of them. It's totally selfish to use that child as a pawn, but they know that they're hurting you by not letting you see your child.
Yes, absolutely.
And initially, the child hurts. In the end.
At the end.
Yeah, and the child
it becomes resentful and everything else. It's garbage.
His moms are selfish, and that's garbage.
Yeah. But also, man, I think men need to call out other men when you see them not being active.
Oh, I can't be around you. If I know that you are a bum ass baby daddy, I can't be around you.
Well, there are men out there that are not paying their child support and not playing an active role in their biological children's life, but the person that they're with that has children that they're rearing.
Okay, well, how come that woman's not calling them out for that, though?
She can call him out all she wants. I'm not going to change his behavior. But the woman he's with.
I'm talking about the woman he's with.
Oh,
why would it? Because I've seen that a lot of women that they're with, right?
Yeah, are not calling him out on his own children. And that's wrong, too. And that's a selfish on her part, because she and her kids are reaping the benefits of having a quality, positive man in their life that's providing emotionally, financially, So yeah, that's selfish. And if he's not taking care of his own kids and he's raising your kids and spending quality time with yours, that's a red flag.
Not to some. They still stay in it.
Yeah.
Still stay in it.
Insane. That's
Well,
insane.
we're getting to the end of the program, guys. Thanks once again for tuning in to Shop Culture. Doc, last words, man.
Last words. I just want to talk about abuse and how serious abuse is in women, single women. I want you to know, take heed that a man who physically abuses you before marriage is not worth a minute of your time. Do not be deceived by these fake apologies. If ever a guy physically abuses you or even threatens to harm you, thank God, quit the relationship, run away. Delete his number and run for your life. You have one life to live. Do not waste it by joining yourself with someone who does not value you, Never be tempted to think that he will change his ways after marriage. It usually gets worse. Abusers belong in jail, not in your life, and certainly not in your heart. If you're married to an abuser, don't die in silence, and don't wait until it's too late. Don't die for your children. Live for them. A dead parent does their children no good. Seek help now.
Man,
A word.
Well, that's heavy. And I will say I agree with everything that you said. But we also know that abuse, there's more to it than that. There's children usually involved. Sometimes there's finances involved. There's a lot. So, yes, getting help, but also when you see somebody hurting, also, man, lend help.
Right. You
Don't
see something, say something.
So,
I know you guys are being sentimental and, issuing out these, these gems, very vital gems at that. I agree wholeheartedly with everything Doc just laid out. But I also just kind of want to get off track real quick. What have y'all ever heard of the saying, or not? It's not a saying, but have you guys ever heard of the whole term, judge the woman by her baby's father?
I've heard that.
I never heard that.
I've heard it in terms of Judge X's.
Judge X. Okay.
And that's both men and women. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you agree with that?
I mean, I just thought it was interesting because I had seen a thread where it was like, fellas, you need to start judging these women by their baby daddies.
No, not a good judge of character.
At all?
No.
Oh, I disagree with Doctor on that.
People make bad choices.
But if it's a constant bad choice,
right?
Well,
I think there's some residue.
Well, I don't agree. People make bad choices. People put on impressions and airs and actions.
It's a characteristic, though, of your choices.
Right.
Yeah, but
That's what credit is about, right? Credit is a characteristic of how you used to.
These are choices.
Choices you made. You made bad choices of financial. It's just like anything else. Your characteristics.
So you're saying if she made bad choices in her past, you're not going to mess with her because you think you're going to be one of those bad choices?
Oh, I'm saying that you have to consider. You have to consider her past. You have to consider the choices she made in these relationships. Consider what she,
Right, but like we said earlier, everyone has a past. You make mistakes, you learn from it, you move on, you evolve.
Yeah, but to ignore them and not say, "Hey, there," I don't see how that's a smart move either. You're like, okay, well, you made a mistake. Well, last 6 guys you messed with,
Also, are you going that far back into her history?
12 years. I didn't say that.
But it's an ex, so clearly they recognize something and moved on.
Or the ex moved on.
So you have to put that behind them and let them.
Oh, this is a good one. This might be the topic. We're gonna have to do a podcast on that one. I disagree. Oh, yeah. So, anyways, guys, again, man, thank you once again for tuning in Shop Culture. Man, you know who this man is, the relationship guru, Dr./Mr./Dr. James R. Hill.
Thank you, everybody.
And we want to thank Nick Jones for filling in for the voice.
Hey.
And I'm the man, Barry Crosby. Thank you for tuning in, Shop Culture. Like we always say, be blessed, stay safe.